What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today I'm coming in with the video you've all been asking for. The first and only time smoking crack video. Now, I'm not proud of making this video, quite frankly. I'm not excited about it. Like, I know you guys really want it, but there's a reason I haven't told this story for so long. There's a reason this happened so long ago, yet I never even hinted at it until a couple days ago. Because I'm not really excited to share it. It's not something I'm proud of, and, now that I'm sober, it's a low point for me. It really is, looking back on it. But I feel like it also needs to be shared just to kind of emphasize to you guys just how fucked up I was when I was doing drugs. So either way, hope you guys enjoy this video. Drop a like if you do. And also, once again, just drilling it home, my P.O. Box and my PSN will be in the description and the comment section below. So, go ahead, bombard me with mail, hit me up on PSN. And also, my birthday is tomorrow, so expect a little birthday special kind of video. I'm trying to think of something to concoct. It's gonna be lit, ladies and gentlemen. I'll finally be 18, so all you MILFs out there, I'm legal. You ain't catching a charge no more. Hit me up. But either way, drop a like if you guys do enjoy, and let's dive into it. So, first time smoking crack. This happened back in March of 2016, a long time ago. This was last year now. Can you guys believe that? It's not 2016 anymore. But this was after school on a Tuesday. I remember this so well because I used to joke with friends. My friends, like, when I would be around other buddies who were smoking and stuff, they'd be like, man, I really got a drug problem. And I'd just look at them and I'd be like, did you smoke crack on a Tuesday? And they'd just be like, nope. And I'm like, all right, well, you don't got a drug problem, buddy. No, but I'd actually do that. It was funny, but anyways, so this was after school on a Tuesday, and I had a buddy named Andrew and another buddy named Kevin. Now, Andrew and Kevin were both really good friends of mine, and not only that, they both did way more drugs than me. So I knew that if I was hanging out with them, I was getting fucked up on some crazy shit. That's all I knew. So, we're going back to my house. School had just gotten out. Me and Andrew go to the same school, and then Kevin goes to a different school. Me and Andrew went to the alternative school. That's how we met. And Kevin went to the high school that I came from to go to the alternative school, like my home school. So we were coming back from alternative school, me and Andrew, and this girl dropped us off at my house. She drove us home every day. She was like our free Uber. And then Kevin came and met up with us because my school was really close to where Kevin lived. So Kevin just got a ride home and then just walked over to my house. It was literally not even a block away. Like, we were basically neighbors. So anyways, they come over, and it's like 3 o'clock at this point, and Andrew has got a lot of cocaine. He's got like 9 or 10 grams of coke on him, and he's sitting there, he's scaling it all out. He's like, yo, bro, can I use your scale? I'm like, yeah, I got you. I'll give him my scale. And he scales it out, and yeah, it's like 9 something. Not quite 10, but it was like mid-9s, I'd say. And we're sitting here, and I'm not like a super big stimulants guy, but like, if there's no other drugs around, I'll do whatever there is in front of me as long as it's not meth or heroin. Like, that was my policy. If it wasn't meth or heroin, I would do it if it was in front of me. And I'm glad it never got to the point of doing meth or heroin, because I'd probably be fucked right now. But anyways, so he scales all that out, and he's like, dude, we just have too much coke. And we're sitting there, and I've got a little bit of weed, but Andrew's on probation, and Kevin doesn't like smoking, so I'm the only one who smokes weed, like, actively here. So, I'm rolling up my own little blunt to face, because these guys don't want to hit it, and we're just chatting for a little bit, we're just talking, and Andrew's also got some acid, but we didn't really feel like tripping, because it was a school night, that's more of like a weekend kind of thing. So we just decided to save that, maybe sell it to some people, so Andrew is finally like, you know what? And I thought he was joking at first. He's like, we should make some crack. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what did this man just say? And I totally thought he was joking. Like, I didn't think he was for real. And I was like, have you ever done crack? And he's like, no. And I look over to Kevin, and I was like, have you ever done crack? And he's like, no. So none of us had ever done crack at this point. And we had coke, not crack. So this is where the funny part comes in, because I don't know how. I assume this crack was terrible quality, not very good, but it worked. I felt it. Because none of us had ever done crack, and we had to make our own crack for the first time. We didn't have any connects for crack unless we went on the deep web and waited for it to get mailed, and we wanted to do it then and there. So we were like, all right, let's just put in some research. So this is so fucking stupid. I don't know why we did this, but Andrew pulls out his phone and goes on Google or whatever, I believe it was Google, and just literally types in how to make good crack and just starts researching on like all those drug forums like Blue Light and all that, just starts researching how to make crack. And we're sitting there for like an hour and a half, and he's just reading over recipes and like trying to take what everyone says from all the different like forum posts and recipes and like put it together. So whatever people say the most is what he's going to do. So he's reading through that for about an hour and a half. I go, smoke my blunt out on my back deck. And, me and my buddy Kevin are smoking a square. We're just chilling, talking, having a good time, relaxing, chillaxing, being all cool. And we come back inside from smoking. And Andrew finally is like, all right, I think I'm ready to give this a shot. I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, dude, fuck it. Now, I'd never cooked crack before either. None of us had ever done it, hence why we were Googling it. And I was kind of curious. I was like, is this going to make my house smell bad? Like, is this, what's this going to do? And like, he's like, nah, dude, I think we'll be straight. We're not going to make a ton. So we didn't make a full batch of it. We only made enough for like a bowl pack, maybe like 2 bowl packs. It was one and then like a second really small one. And we had to make this shitty little tinfoil bowl, but I'll get to that later. So either way, we're finally ready to go, and Andrew's the one who cooked it. I didn't do anything. I just watched. So Andrew goes and grabs a spoon, and he's got a lighter on him. And I'm not going to get too detailed here because I don't want to give the fucking crack recipe to my young fans. Like, I'm not that guy. But either way, we took the proper percentage of cocaine and the proper percentage of baking soda and the proper amount of water after the two were combined into the spoon. And we did this all in a spoon. We didn't need a pot because we weren't making a bunch. We didn't need a pan or anything like that. We just did it in a spoon. So, he's holding the lighter up under the spoon. He's kind of trying to swirl it around a little bit. He's got a pencil, and he's just trying to, like, mix it up, see, like, what he's doing. He didn't really know what the fuck he was doing, but it ended up working enough for us to feel it, so that's all that really mattered. But either way, he's doing his thing. Not going to get too detailed here. Like I said, it's bubbling up, and then it wasn't like very clear. That's the thing. And I don't know much about crack because I'd only done it once and we had to make it the first time. Like, I don't have a crack connect, nor do I really know anyone who actively uses it. So like, I'm not sure what it's supposed to look like, but when it was done, what we did was we kind of got it off the spoon and put it onto some tin foil because we didn't have any wax paper, and the forum page we were on said to use wax paper would be a very good one, but we used tin foil instead. So we took it off the tin foil and we put it in the freezer for like 15 or so minutes. He was like, yeah, I think we should probably put it in the freezer. I don't know if it said that on the site he was looking up how to make crack on, or if that was just his own call, but either way, I was like, all right, I'm game. So we put it in the freezer, close the freezer. We're chilling there for like 10-15 minutes. We clean up as well as we can. There's not really much of a mess, but the spoon is fucked, so we just throw it away because there's no coming back from that thing. Like, it just looked like a dope spoon. Like, I knew if I left that in my house, my mom would come home and one day, like, eat off that and just get all geeked up on crack. Like, some shit like that. But either way, so we're sitting there. It's in the freezer. We're chilling for like 10-15 minutes. Go out and smoke another square. Come back in, pull it out of the freezer, and it's hard. It's solid. It's not, like, goopy anymore. Because when we took it off the spoon, it was still kind of like a liquidy goop. It wasn't completely liquid, but, like, it was just this very thick, like, gel substance. Not gel, but, like, it's just hard to explain. Like, it's like fucking boogers, almost. Like, I don't know, dude, for lack of a better way to describe it. At least that's how it looked to me. I didn't touch it, Andrew was like, yeah, don't touch it yet. Just leave it. So that's how it appeared to me. So anyways, we finally pulled it out of the freezer, and it's solid at this point. Now, the rocks, I don't know if they're, like, how they're supposed to look, but ours were pretty cloudy. They weren't very clear. They didn't look like the best kind of crack you could be making, but they were solid and they were enough. And it wasn't like, it wasn't too much. It was a very small amount, like I said earlier. So anyways, then Andrew went into my pantry and found a little bit of tin foil, and he pulls that out and handcrafts this little tinfoil pipe. Now, this guy smokes a bunch of shit off tinfoil. He has like these weird synthetic powders, not like the K2 spice stuff that's sprayed on, but like lab-made powders that are synthetics that like he smokes off tinfoil. So this guy is just a tinfoil bowl expert. So he makes this little tinfoil bowl, and he's like, all right, boys, you ready for this? And I'm sitting here and I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. Whatever, I'm game. So we take the little bit, we scrape it off very carefully. We have to do it like with the pencil almost. We kind of like scrape it like from sticking to the tinfoil that we put it on with a pencil, just the very tip of it. And then we just kind of like scooped it in. We held the bowl up to the edge of the table and just scooped it in really carefully into the bowl. And after we filled up the bowl as much as we needed to see fit, there was still like another half bowl maybe left. So we were like, all right, we got a little bit for later if we like it. So fuck it. So we're all standing there in my kitchen, just sitting in a circle. Not sitting, we were standing in a circle. And Andrew's like, all right, well, I'll take the first hit, let you guys know how it goes. Because I'm not going to lie, at this point, I was kind of scared. Like, I was excited and I was curious, but I was also scared because I had heard so much about crack. And I was like, oh, God, this is going to be one hell of a fucking ride. So Andrew takes the first hit, and it just smells like chemicals, guys. Like, the smell, to describe it, is just straight chemical. Like, just think of, like, I can't even like think of a specific smell or chemical to pin it to. It just smells like shit you shouldn't be putting into your body. Like it really does. I mean, it's very hard to describe, but at least our batch, it smelled like how Molly tastes, if that gives you any idea. Like, I don't know what better comparison to make it. I really can't. But either way, so Andrew takes the first hit, and he inhales, he exhales, does his thing. And almost immediately, he just kind of goes wide-eyed. And he's just like, holy shit. And then Kevin's the next one in line. I was the last one to take a hit out of the bowl. So he passes it to Kevin. Kevin takes a hit. Kevin hits it, and he's coughing a lung up. Like, he takes a pretty fat hit, and he's coughing a lung up. And with this, I forgot to mention, there's a good amount of smoke that comes up. At least for us, there was. I don't know if that's normal or like if we just made some shit crack. There's a good amount of smoke. Like, we were holding the lighter up under the little tinfoil bowl, roasting it real good. That's the other thing. If you're smoking rocks, you can't just light it directly like you would light a bowl of weed. You have to hold the lighter up under and kind of let it sizzle almost. And like, you hear that little snack crackle pop kind of sound. But anyways, so Kevin takes a hit, and he's just like, holy fuck. And he passes it to me. Now, at this point, my heart's beating pretty fast. I'm like, oh my God, because I'm seeing how geeked up these guys look right now immediately. And I'm just like, this is about to be fucking wacky. So I take it, hold the bowl in my left hand, hold the lighter in my right, hold the lighter up under the bowl, take a hit, and I inhale. I took a pretty decent-sized hit, let me tell you guys. It was a formidable foe, to say the least. I take that hit, and I'm holding it as long as I can, and I held it as long as I could because I really wanted to cough it up, but Andrew was just like, hold it. And like, I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm doing it for my man's Andrew because he's the reason this is happening right now. So I pass it back to Andrew. There's maybe a hit or two left. It didn't get around to me again, but Andrew takes his hit, and I finally exhale the smallest amount of smoke. I basically zeroed it, and let me tell you guys, this is kind of hard to describe, but it's like Coke on Coke. It's like a very compact Coke on Coke kind of high, like almost like Coke on meth, but I've never done meth, so I don't want to make that comparison. But like, I felt it immediately, like literally immedly. Like, I exhaled, and I just felt like my whole body was just propelled upwards. Like, I just had the biggest, trampoline on the earth, and I just jumped on it, and it just flung me. Like, immediately, it felt like I just railed 10 lines of Coke and I was peaking. Like, it was intense, and it's similar to Coke because it is Coke. Like, it's literally cocaine. It's freebase cocaine, but it's different because it hits you a lot quickly. It affects it. I don't know the science behind crack. I don't know everything about it. I just know the basics, but it affects you a lot differently because of the fact that you're cooking it. So either way, immediately, I'm just geeked out of my mind. And, Kevin over here, he kind of looks over at me, and he's just wide-eyed, and he lets out the loudest yell. He just goes, fuck yeah! And, like, just lets out this scream, like, top of his lungs. Sounds like a fucking warrior. And I'm just sitting here, and I'm hyped, too. So I look over at him, and I do it back. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go! And, like, just yelling and screaming and shit. And we're just hyped. And then Andrew finishes his hit, and he does it, too. He's like, hell fucking yeah! Like, this is dope! And, like, I'm just sitting here, and I'm just like, oh my God, what have I got myself into? So anyways, Kevin takes a hit, and the bowl is pretty much cashed. They offer it to me and see if I want to get any more out of it, but I was already feeling really geeked. I didn't want to get too fucked up on it, and also it looked like a pretty cash bowl, so I was like, nah, let's just pack the next one. So we had about half of a bowl left, and we took the remainder of it, put it in the bowl, same way, just took the pencil and scraped it in, and it was my turn. So I got the first hit of a fresh bowl, took that hit. That hit got me geeked because it was that fresh bowl first hit, heard the snap, crackle, pop, and it was just insane. Took a pretty decent sized hit. Once again, Andrew just told me to keep holding it. I did my best, but I coughed. I didn't get to hold it the whole time because I took a pretty decent sized hit, and it just doesn't taste very good. It's like smoking anything out of tinfoil doesn't taste good, but crack itself doesn't taste good. At least in my opinion, our batch didn't taste good. Maybe crack normally tastes good. I don't know, but I assume ours was probably terrible quality. But either way, so, I ended up taking that hit and then passing it over to my boy Andrew. Now, we only had half a bowl, so there was like one hit for each of us, essentially. So I only got that one. What the fuck is that ungodly noise? It just sounds like someone threw a barrage of footballs at my house. That was... All right, that was weird. I hope you guys didn't hear that. But either way, so anyways, I take my hit, pass it over to Andrew. We're all geeked up. Kevin was the name I used. Kevin takes his last hit, and finally the bowl is cashed. Andrew already took his hit, and we just throw away the tinfoil bowl. We take the tinfoil, we cook the crack on, throw that away. And the high of crack is very short. I'm talking about like I was coming down within like a minute or two, like incredibly short, but it was intense. That's why I say it's like Coke on Coke, because it's sped up, it's intense, it's weird. Like, I didn't like it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like it because I just came down so quickly, and I was never a huge stimulant guy. Like, I was amped up and I enjoyed it at the time, but like stimulants weren't my thing. I was a big psychedelic and weed kind of guy, and a long time ago when I was first starting using, I was a benzo kind of guy. So I was always like a either chill out or like trip sack kind of guy, and I don't put chill out and trip sack in the same category because it's very hard to chill on psychedelics because you're just fucking interested in everything. But either way, so we threw the bowl away and I was just geeked. I remember we were just like walking around my house super fast, just stomping around. Like I remember me and my buddy Kevin just pushed each other as hard as we could. Like he was just like, shove me, and I shoved him back, and then we were like, dude, cigarettes would be great right now. So we run out onto my porch as fast as we can, and my buddy Andrew's got a pack of Newports. My pack was empty, so I didn't have any squares at this point, so he bums me a Newport. Let me tell you guys, Newports suck when you're sober, but they're incredible when you're intoxicated on literally anything. Like, I can't smoke a Newport sober, but you get me intoxicated on any fucking drug, crocodile for all I care, I'll smoke me a good old Newport. So I was smoking a square, and it was great. It felt fucking amazing. Let me tell you guys, when you're on stimulants and you smoke a cigarette, it's bliss. So either way, I smoked that square. It was great. It was a hoot and a holler. And at this point, I was coming down. It had already been like 2 minutes. I was coming down pretty heavy. I barely felt it at this point. I don't remember the exact point where I came down because, my mind was still kind of like mentally stimulated. Like I just felt excited for, a while after that. But I wasn't high anymore. I wasn't intoxicated. So either way, by the time we were done smoking those squares, I was sober at this point. I'd already come down. And that's why I question the quality of it. I'm not sure what crack is supposed to look like, but I don't know how long it's supposed to last. That's the thing. I'm really inexperienced with it. So were all my buddies at the time. So, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a longer thing, like a 5-10 minute thing. I knew it was a short lasting thing, but I was caught off guard by the fact that it lasted like 2 to 3 minutes. Like I was like, all right, we either made some shit crack or I don't know. But either way, it was an interesting experience. Not something I ever wanted to do again. I remember I joked around with Andrew and Kevin for a while. I was like, yeah, let's smoke some crack again today, guys. And like, I remember when I was with friends, because word got out that we did that. I told some close friends, they told some people, and word just got out. So every Tuesday, me and my friends would always dick with me and be like, yo, Nick, it's Crack Tuesday, dude. You want to get some rocks? And I'd be like, hell yeah, bro. Crack Tuesday. You know the drill. It's the time. But luckily, I never smoked it again. So either way, that's really all I got for you guys. I know this was probably quite the interesting story, to say the least. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. Drop a like if you did. And reminder, don't smoke crack. Don't be a goblin. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.